This is an amazing film, and you are amazing in it. It's an Oscar-winning performance, Colin.
If you say so.
Tell me about the research that you did, because you didn't want to sort of imitate him. You wanted to just capture the essence of him, didn't you?
Well, I wanted to get to the heart of the character as he appeared on the page, and you know, I'm not in the business of mimicry really, and I don't know how much would have been achieved by that. You have to try to be as authentic as you can. I wasn't as limited as someone playing, say, Winston Churchill or JFK, or the characters that loom very, very large and currently in the popular imagination. So I had a bit more room to manoeuvre, perhaps, and I was far more interested in studying him for what it told me about what he must have been feeling like when he hit these terrible linguistic blocks. And just watching him operate and watching his body language when he was at public events and that sort of thing, and just reading what he himself had said in letters and notes, which told me he was actually a very witty and eloquent man, and was misjudged, as dull-witted because of this problem.
And when you looked at the photographs, you saw the warmth with him and his family,
yes,
which is a real contrast to that of his parents.
I think it's unmistakable. I mean, it wouldn't take us more than a second to Google images of George V, Queen Mary, and the family of children posing in a very austere way. They're like soldiers on parade, and images of George VI and Queen Elizabeth with the girls. It's hard to find a picture where he's not either gazing at them with a smile on his face, or if they're young, holding them. So there was clearly a completely different relationship, just as evidenced by the pictures.
And when you're looking at the sort of speech therapy and researching that, Tom was just telling me that you actually inhabited this sort of role, and you ended up having some sort of a stammer sometimes.
Yes, I mean, I think that one can make far too much of a cult out of the process, and I think, this idea that I was so method, therefore you should, that authenticates my performance even more. And I don't think that's not what was happening. It wasn't because of such profound immersion, even though, I did look for that. This was just habit. I mean, I think if you spend a few months interfering with your speech patterns, you will then have to unlearn that, and it's rather the same as, practicing your piano exercises every day. You can change your habits by repetition. And so that is what happened. And yes, and I find even now, if I start to talk about it too much, you might just hear the odd involuntary hesitation.
And you worked so closely with Helena Bonham-Carter and Geoffrey Rush. They're amazing in this too.
Oh, they are. And I mean, I had to raise my game really to negotiate with them. I mean, you get an awful lot for nothing when you work with brilliant acting, and it was so alive. And this is a man who, the character I was playing is a man who's obviously got some pretty grim problems. I do think he's a witty man. I think it's clear in the film that he has wit, and it's clear when you read about him, as I said. But to have characters who are both witty as people, as actors, and who can achieve that in their delivery as well, was a joy, because it meant, I could just spark off that, and it was like getting a free ride, really.
Congratulations on your British Independent Film
Thank
Award.
You.
That's fantastic. And I remember years ago seeing you at Winchester Cathedral, and you saying you only had a cycling proficiency test to your name.
That's right.
Now you've got your honorary degree. You've got all these acting awards, and potentially more to come. In 2011.
Well, let's talk about the ones we've already got on the shelf. I think that they're shining, they're looked after, and they're very happy by themselves for the moment.
And have your mum and dad seen this yet?
Yes, they saw it. They saw it at the London Film Festival. Yeah, they were very happy with it. They were delighted. You were fantastic. Thank you. And when you win your Oscar, will you still talk to me on ITV Meridian? We're saying when, are we? I'll always talk to you, whatever gongs are up there on the shelf. Thank you, my darling. It's lovely to